Science and technology studies is a field that explores how scientific knowledge and technological systems are deeply entangled with society. It questions the idea that science is purely objective or that technology evolves on a neutral path. Instead, it shows how values, politics, culture, and power are embedded in the making of knowledge and tools. This perspective reveals that what we often accept as natural, inevitable, or factual is the result of choices, struggles, and social arrangements. Understanding this helps explain why some ideas become dominant, why some innovations succeed while others fail, and how public trust in science is built or lost. 10 key concepts help us make sense of these dynamics. Co-production emphasizes that knowledge and social order shape each other. Scientific facts and political structures emerge together. For instance, economic forecasting models not only inform national policies, they also reflect assumptions about growth, labor, and risk. These models then help stabilize certain policy choices as common sense. Co-production draws attention to how science can legitimize authority, while governance structures can influence what counts as valid knowledge. The social construction of technology focuses on how technological artifacts emerge through social negotiation, not just technical optimization. Competing groups, such as engineers, users, regulators, and marketers, frame problems differently and influence design paths. Early electric vehicles in the 20th century lost out to gasoline cars not because they were technically inferior, but because of infrastructure, marketing, and energy politics. This concept highlights how technologies carry the imprint of social struggle and institutional bias. Actor network theory proposes that humans, tools, and materials form networks that together produce outcomes. It treats all elements, people, machines, texts, policies, as actors that influence one another. Consider airport security, scanners, boarding passes, algorithms, and passengers all interact to make the system function. No single actor controls the outcome. Instead, stability emerges from the temporary alignment of many heterogeneous parts. This view helps explain how control and order are distributed across both human and non-human elements. Black boxing occurs when a scientific result or technical device becomes widely accepted and no longer examined. The internal controversies and choices fade from view, and the outcome appears self-evident. For example, DNA testing in criminal trials is often treated as infallible, yet it rests on lab protocols, interpretation methods, and probabilistic reasoning that are rarely scrutinized in court. Science and technology studies seeks to reopen black boxes to reveal their assumptions, limitations, and histories. Technological determinism claims that new tools automatically cause social change. This view treats technology as an independent force. Science and technology studies rejects this, showing instead that technologies are shaped by users, institutions, and cultural norms, and that their effects vary by context. Take the introduction of the printing press. It did not cause democracy or science on its own. It enabled certain developments, but social movements, religious shifts, and power struggles determined its effects. Boundary work refers to how scientific communities draw and defend the line between science and non-science. These boundaries help secure legitimacy, funding, and authority. But they are often fluid and contested. For example, during debates over genetically modified crops, both proponents and critics appealed to scientific expertise while accusing the other side of being unscientific. Science and technology studies examines how such claims to credibility are constructed and how they shift in different contexts. Reflexivity demands that scholars be aware of how their own perspectives shape their work. This applies especially in the study of science, where the temptation to claim neutrality is strong. Feminist and post-colonial scholars have shown that what counts as knowledge often reflects dominant social positions. Medical research, for example, long treated male bodies as the default, leading to biased diagnostics and treatments. Reflexivity pushes researchers to question whose knowledge is represented and whose is excluded. Infrastructures are the background systems that support science and technology, but are often invisible until they fail. These include physical structures like fiber optic cables and data centers, as well as standards, classifications, and routines. For example, Global timekeeping depends on atomic clocks, satellite signals, and coordination agencies. These systems make synchronized activity possible, yet few people are aware of their existence. Science and technology studies brings these hidden layers to light and shows how they shape what science and technology can do. Innovation is often described as a heroic breakthrough, but this masks the slow, messy, and collective nature of change. Innovations emerge through trial and error, competing visions, institutional inertia, and political interest. The smartphone combined many existing technologies, touchscreens, mobile internet, cameras, but succeeded because of ecosystems of apps, marketing, design, and user habits. Innovation studies and science and technology studies shift the focus from individual inventors to the broader environments that make innovation possible. Public engagement moves away from the idea that experts simply deliver facts to a passive public. Instead, it promotes dialogue, trust building, and mutual learning. This is especially important in areas like vaccine development, where public resistance often stems not from ignorance, but from past experiences with inequality, exclusion, or harm. Projects that involve community members in setting research priorities or gathering data can strengthen scientific legitimacy and lead to more socially relevant outcomes. Together, these concepts show that science and technology are not neutral tools or separate domains. They are deeply social, historical, and political. Science and technology studies gives us tools to question dominant narratives, explore alternative futures, and think critically about whose knowledge counts, whose interests are served, and what kinds of societies we are helping to build. As science and technology play an ever larger role in our lives, this kind of understanding is not optional, it is essential. Stay tuned for more insights into business and the social sciences. If you found this overview helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on future topics you'd like us to cover. I'm Dr. Dag, wishing you a fantastic day ahead.